Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chi Chi of Orange Glow, and today we are getting real deep, just like getting to know me and why I decided to put my face on here. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, yeah. So what do you want to know about me? No, I'm just joking. So, what can I say? If you guys hear any noise, I'm just going to give that disclaimer now. My boys are home from spring break, and I'm actually trying to do this video soon. As soon as we are done here, I'm going to take them outside because, them being inside does not mix. My food will be done, the house will be a mess, and the story can go on. But anywho, I digress. So, I guess just a little bit of a background about me. As a young child, I can recall a time of me wanting to. I remember when I used to like draw sketchings of like dresses and things like that. I don't know. I don't know if I did that for fun or if it was just at that point I thought that I can design. I thought I would be like a fashion designer or something, or not say a fashion designer, but a clothing designer, right? Because at that time I wasn't thinking of it being fashion. I just like clothes, I like colors, and I love dancing. My mom will tell you that I did not walk until I was like 1, and I didn't even walk. I broke out in dancing. So your girl loves to dance, okay? And at a young age, I always thought, oh, well, I could do like choreography because I really love to dance, and maybe sketching out dresses, right? And I remember being told as a young child, like, no, you can't do anything in the arts because you'll be a starving. Do you want to be a starving artist? Are you listening? So it was one of those like, don't get it. If you, anything with painting, drawing, acting, any of those lines of artistry, just before you can even let it enter, just come out of your head. Just don't even think about it, because that was not a part of the plan. And I honestly, I really enjoyed those things. But again, because we were told, or I was told anyway, that doing that you will not make any money, I had to kind of like redirect my thoughts as far as, okay, what is it that I want to do? And growing up, we didn't. Both of my parents came from Nigeria, right? So at that time, we're talking like early '80s. They had to make do with what they had, and it's not like we had money. Money did not just come like that for us. They had to bust their behind. If I looked at anything that was kind of any clothing item that looked like it was far beyond my reach, I had to now remember, like, look, there's a way of saying pachalaya, like, watch yourself, watch yourself. Don't have your, like, how can I say, don't let your eyes be more than what your pockets have or anything like that. Or my dad would say, don't be too extravagant. Don't be too extravagant with the things that you are in want. So listen, I remember having to wear sneakers for like a whole year, or having clothes that I had to like really hold on to. And I had long legs, so everything on me was like high waters. I had long legs, big feet, and so I had to really like make do. And I had one of these favorite sneakers. Who remembers Conway? Conway was the store, a lot of the places that we would get our clothes. It wasn't until, at a younger age. And then as we got older, of course, my mom started shopping like at Macy's, when a little bit of money going around. Again, it wasn't a lot. It's 6 of us. So stuff had to be spread. And I remember those days like, man, I can't wait till I get older, because when I get my own money, I'm going to be doing X, Y, and Z. And it didn't really happen like that. It didn't really happen like that, because I remember even like in high school, I did work, right? And at that time, it wasn't more so of like the clothes. I couldn't afford all of the hottest sneakers, jackets, that kind of thing. So I made do with what I could get. So every summer when I do like the summer programs, I save a little bit of my cash, get some sneakers. The white Air Force, I always got two pairs, which was the white Air Force ones and the black Air Force ones, because that will at least carry me out through. I had to wash it really well. That would carry me out through the year. So it wasn't like I had it like that to be buying the clothes, but I would always look at these magazines and think like, man, I cannot wait to make it big, right? Because, you know, in our young minds, we're thinking like, we're going to make it so big. I'm going to have so much money, and whatever it is that I want to buy, I'm going to buy it. Again, that also didn't happen like that, because when I got into college, the places that I shopped, I made money. I didn't have to pay any bills, so I was able to buy. I guess get a little fresh. I was able to get a little fresh. Getting at that time, you know where I would shop? Okay, clock in and let me know if you guys, this is talking downtown Brooklyn. This is when, can you believe Dr. J's is actually closed? But Dr. J's, this is down on Fulton Mall, okay? Dr. J's is where I'd shop. Where else did I used to go? Rainbows. I'm not even going to hate on Rainbows, because that Rainbows downtown, it had everything. Like I was getting my like blazers out of there. Okay. Yeah, there was also a Forever 21 down there. I think there is one now still, but further before, like, we're talking, gosh, I'm dating myself, but we're talking like 15 years ago, right? Yeah, we're about 15 years ago. This is where, so we're like early 2000s, and Fulton Mall is really getting built up there, like bringing a whole bunch of stores down there. And so they had Dr. J's. My dad would actually give me his Metro card, and because at that time he had like one of those he had the unlimited Metro card, so I would take it on the weekend, go down there, find anything that I'd like, and just come back home. I wasn't asking him for his money because I had a little bit of money on my own, right? That portion of like having money came to a complete halt when I had my first son, because I was not done with school and I had my first son, and my money had to go into babysitting. So the little bit of money that I had that I was taking to buy some clothes and like kind of get fresh, I now had to use that and source babysitting. And that happened. I was like living paycheck to paycheck. So that was not fun times, but I had to do what I had to do with what I had, right? I was working part-time and I was still going to school full-time. I was in college. I'm doing my undergrad at this point. And so, but I was making like what, $10 an hour. That is nothing when I look back and tell you how much I had to pay a week. Right now, that it was good then. You know, I didn't really complain that much because I was paying like what, $160 a week for babysitting. The math don't mean anything, but I'm just giving numbers for that time. And, you know, I really, really was penny pinching. And even at the job that I had, even though it was part-time, we were required to dress up, right? So we had to wear, we had to wear slacks. We had to wear sweaters or blazers. And that's something that I'm not used at this time. I'm not used to, because the jobs that I had, I could wear jeans, sneakers, and, you know, go in anyhow. So I really had to, what I would do is like take $20. I would go to either Dr. J's or Rainbows. And I liked that Rainbows because they had nice workwear blazers. So I'd go take my $20, whatever blazers they had. I would get just one, you know, it's only one that I could get because their blazers then were exactly $20. So I'd get one color. So at that time, I've done this so much so that I was able to accumulate different color blazers. So I had black, mint green, coral, white. Those are the four colors that I had that I could interchange. Oh, how can I forget Vanessa? There was a store downtown too, right on Willoughby and Lawrence, called Vanessa's. And I'd get my slacks from there. Their slacks also was $20. So I'd get like a Zach and Ray. I don't know. Oh, I'm dating myself. I can't believe this. So I would get like a Zach and Rachel pants. And I liked them too because they were long. Like I said, I had long legs. And so that was the only thing that would fit me, and it did not look high waters. And as for slacks, I go into Payless. They also had a Payless downtown. I really shopped in Brooklyn. Like, Brooklyn was the spot. Didn't matter. I could not go into Macy's. I go there and look. At one point, actually, I lied because I was able to wear, I was able to get, before I had my son, I was able to get like Coach sneakers and that kind of thing. I did do that. But again, once I had him, my priorities changed, money changed. And so I had to really work with what I had. I go into Vanessa's, and so for Payless, I'd get some loafers that fit my foot, and that's what I did. I wore those until they either the heel broke because I was able to get like heel boots. I only went in when they had a sale. I could not go in if, they were selling things for like $25, $30. That was more than what I could afford. I literally would only budget $20 because that's what I could afford at that time. So if it was heel boots or like if it was loafers, I wore those things until I walked. They were talking back. The heel broke. Something had to be functionality wise. Something had to be wrong with it for me to replace it. I went on like that even up until 2019, up until the pandemic. I was like, oh, thank God. That's because I've never done online shopping. Those are the places that I would go. 2019. Oh, you know what? Actually, I lied. I did go to those places up until 2019, but by then I already had a full-time job. So let's say by 2019, I've already been working at my full-time job for 4 years, right? And then the pandemic happens. Funny enough, I gave birth before the shutdown. So I was already pregnant with my second son. Shutdown happens and I'm on maternity leave, which is cool. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that happens in between, but that's not for here. So I'm home and, it's cool. I'm working from home. That kind of thing is cool because my baby gets to get more time with me than my oldest son did because, again, at that time was hustle and bustle. So we fast forward into 2021. I faced basically it was just traumatic for me. I faced a traumatic experience that I had to like kind of really pick myself up, like this point in time, I'm like, man, if I thought I loved myself before, it was not enough. It was not enough. When I tell you at this point in time, I felt so broken. Like inside of me, I was like broken into pieces, right? And so I kind of made a vow, like, I am never going to lose sight of who I am. Like, I'm never going to lose sight of who I am. I am a mom. I am a wife, right? But that's just not all of me, right? I'm not going to lose sight of my identity. I vowed that I'm not going to lose sight of whose I am. That means that I am a daughter of God. Like, whatever the Lord tells me to do, I am going to go through and pursue it, right? Without fail. And I have to, and then I also made a vow that I was going to stand 10 toes down for me, that I was going to continuously show up for myself. And what did that look like? If it mean that I did something that was not pleasing into the eyes of others, or I just basically doing things my way and the way I saw fit, again, according to God's direction, then I was going to do it unapologetically. Like I wasn't going to give two mouses about what the people's thoughts were, right? And so I decided to show up for myself. And so that brings me here in front of you. I've been contemplating wanting to do, get behind the camera. I, believe it or not, I used to be scared to take photos. Let me not lie. I wasn't scared to take photos. I didn't think that I was pretty enough to take pictures, I thought I wasn't photogenic. So every time I take a picture, it just didn't look right. Nobody really was able to capture the essence of my beauty, if I am to say it like that, right? And so I really didn't think that I was pretty enough to be behind the camera. So if I look back, I really don't have that much photos of myself because I really shied away from being in the camera. And again, 3 years ago is when I decided, you know what? I've been saying I wanted to do YouTube. Let me just give it a shot and let's see where it goes. I told you I faced something traumatic. So I thought I was going to be doing something with wellness. And I was like, you know what? That's not it. That is not it. Then I said, oh, well, I cook all the time. Maybe I should do cooking. Like, maybe I should make this a cooking channel. And then I learned kind of fast. After a couple of videos in, I was like, yeah, this is more a necessity. I'm cooking because me and my family need to eat, not because I really like doing it. I mean, I love to cook, but yeah, not because it's such a love and a passion. Nah, let's X that. So I was like, okay, well, what else is it that I like to do? I'm in this new mom body that I'm like, keep saying I want to transform. I want to get into my this new body of mine. In about 3 years since I've been a size 14, I said, you know what, let's just show up. I've been buying clothes that, what I like to do is shop, right? I like to shop. I like to play in my closet. So I just decided, let's make this a fashion channel. I don't know what is going to come up out of this. And I still don't know because, this is still growing. I just took that plunge to show up for me. Now, not everybody's going to understand it. Not everybody's going to, thankfully I have some support because I guess my family was just tired of me talking about, I'm going to do a business, because I used to say that all the time. This is a business. This is my brand, right? So, but for me, showing up, that just says that I am taking the reins, like I'm showing up the way I want to show up for myself. And if that means that there's somebody else that is like that, there's somebody else that, or maybe that's you. Maybe that's you and you're like, how am I going to show up for myself? How am I going to do the things that I say I want to do? Just do it. Like, just get ahead and do it. When I started, I was like, there's nothing to lose. At that point, I was so broken that I felt like I've already lost. So what else is there to lose? That's exactly how I felt. What else is there to lose? No matter how many times people make fun of me, like, my husband even makes fun of me, like, oh, here we go. You on the camera again? Like, this is what you do all day? No, I don't. I don't do this all day, but I like doing it. You see me here, I'm always laughing, I'm always joking. I do like doing this. So, I figured I'd share just a bit of me to come. If I can inspire you to just take a deep breath and go for what you want to go for, and don't look back. It doesn't matter who's in your corner. I have people in my corner. I do have a support system, and I'm so thankful for them because, they message me and they tell me how great the content is, and I'm pleased, and I'm so happy that I do have that, And here, if you don't have that yet, I'm just rooting for you, and I'm telling you, go ahead and do it. There is nothing that can stop you but you. And if nobody has told you yet that they are proud of you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the person that you are becoming. I am proud of the person that you've left behind. I am proud of the person that you are going to see. The person that you're envisioning yourself to be. I think that it's bold, it's courageous to do that. And it takes a lot of guts, right? And whatever it is that is making you do that, hold on to it, because it's only up from here. So I figured I'd do that. Whew, that was a lot. That took me to a place. But thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, I am grateful. You guys stay tuned to watch me all the time. So until the next video. Bye.